If you seen something that was illegitimate,
Zapateo,
you need to say something because just
can you do
telling
a
us
favor,
ain't
bro?
gonna do
Is your
nothing,
truck
okay?
unlocked? I gotta
All
grab my
right,
battery.
y'all
We
be
only got
blessed
one.
now.
Oh, no, 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 never mind. That's good.
You good?
Yeah, that's good.
No wonder in Free Holy, what's going
Go
on?
down there.
Hi, everybody. Talking a little softer. My name is Jeff. Okay, louder. All
I left the
right.
frajos,
To me,
fool.
it's very loud, so I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm a PC captain now from LG.
Se me hace que también hasta los míos se
Let's go grab
What
this.
has happened?
Miss AA.
So deja vu.
The Kid KS, what's up, bro?
Out here with Arizona Auditor.
Out here with Tapatíos, City of Phoenix. I left something in my car, guys. I'm going back to the car. But we're here in downtown Phoenix. I'll take you guys right back to that rally. There's a rally going on today. It's called #AZRevolt. So just out here. Mr. Prestige, what's up, bro?
What's going on? ¿Están chavos por ahí?
I don't see him.
¿Dónde quedaron?
All right. Let's go back.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving. I'm about 10 pounds heavier today. Tempe against violence. What's up, brother? I think you people's out here as well. There's people gathering all over the place.
That was an early mark.
Yeah, that's. I think this is going to be about the vote.
5 months. I think we love it. I said, I can get it. We got good. I started talking to some people. We started uniting. And they got a bunch of big boxes. Long story short, we got so good. And after a few months, the board, they all just started, they quit. They walked away. So along comes redistricting. And that story made national news. Along comes, oh, by the way, not only did they run away, they took all the money with them and all the equipment too. Of course they did, because they're Democrats. I'm sorry, but that's what they are. Not all Democrats are thieves. These people definitely were. That I've met in the last 2 years, I can't. I'm sorry. But long story short, apparently we did really good because along comes redistricting and they break the old LD15, the Rhino Slayers, into chunks, tiny little chunks, and they send my group to LD3, which is now the largest LD in the state of Arizona. And it's run by rhinos from top to almost the bottom. But we're fighting them. Our first vote, they brought 200 proxy votes with them. 200 proxy votes. And the bylaws they wanted actually stripped PCs of the right to actually comment from the floor.
I don't know if it is revolt or revolt.
We didn't just say, okay, well, they outnumber us, we got to take this. We threw a fit and we said, no, we're not going to take this. Come on, get real. You guys don't even believe in the First Amendment? That kind of made them look a little bad, and they said, well, maybe we can start a committee. And what they plan to do is, what they always do, is rifle a bunch of their people into a committee where they have the numbers and they don't let the bylaws pass. We were very fortunate that we got Jim O'Connor on that committee, because Jim O'Connor raised the fuss. So did Brian Ferentz, and so did many others from the outside to the committee. And the committee felt the heat and they said, you know what, maybe we should modify our bylaws a little bit. And we got our bylaws in, and we kept hammering away, and now we went from being allowed 3 proxies to 1. So we're making progress. It's slow.
Yeah,
Our
small crowd.
board, 3 of them that are in control, they were happy to sit on their hands and they weren't even going to do a golden ticket. Think about that. If you want to win an election, you got to get out to the voters. They did. I personally knocked over 800 doors myself, and I got the bunions to prove it. So what I'm saying to you is, they want you demoralized. They want you to quit. Don't. Get re-engaged. Get madder than you were in 2020 and say, you know what?
Our flag
I'm
says
done with you
SOS.
people. I'm going to break the back of this corrupt McCain machine in Arizona. You can do it. I can do it. Get your friends, get your family. You know how many PCs I have in my house? Take a guess. Everyone that's old enough to vote in my house is a PC. I'm telling you, you people can do this. Don't buy the crap. This is
They're all personal
kooky
computers.
theater. We can beat them. We just have to do it smart. We have to get in and we have to fight.
No
Thanks for letting
drones
me
up right now.
Vent. I love you all.
You have to introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm Dana Kramer. I worked as a poll worker. Let me fix my sign here. Who agrees with my sign?
Certified.
Yeah. I worked as a poll worker at the Desert Hills, Maricopa County, Desert Hills, North Arizona, or North Phoenix, sorry. Sorry, I'm not a speaker, but I'm trying.
We love you.
I was a poll worker on election day, and all day we started at 6 o'clock, receiving voters come in, and to 7 p.m. all day long there's a 2-hour line waiting outside to vote, and then inside they waited again to sign into the site book and then come to receive their ballot on demand. And I was one of the people, there's 2 of us, myself and Debbie. We handed out the ballots on demand. And the printers were rejecting them all day long. The tabulators were rejecting the printed ballots because they were spotty. And it became a fiasco within a small amount of time. It happened all day long. We did have techs come in to try and fix the machine, the printers, but they would work for a little while and then the printers were spotty again, and I believe that was on purpose. Because just like what the previous person said, that they did a test run the day before and it was fine. So Desert Hills Community Church at 7th and Carefree Highway. It was horrible. And my husband stood in line for 2 hours, and he saw people walk away. And that's disenfranchisement, a botched election, on purpose. Okay, so then I saw people feeding in the tabulator in this way, upside down, frontwards, backwards, and we had lots of booths set up. We had 20 booths, and it took about 20 minutes to fill out the ballot, and then there was a tabulation line, and it was a SH and then T show, and so it was awful. We all were there for the red wave on election day. Everybody stood in line. We know that it was proven. And then we counted the ballots at the end of the night, the spoiled ballots. There was 112, and we looked at them, 2 for Hobbs and the rest for Kerry Lake, all down the line. Okay, this I wanted to say something about this. Okay, so that's proof that, you know, it was for Kerry Lake. There's no way Katie Hobbs won. Nobody wanted her. She's done nothing. She did nothing in 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a goblin.
Yeah, yeah, she was with Sleepy Joe in the basement. Yeah. So okay, the state mine inspector won 400,000 more votes than Carrie Lake. How does that happen? Yeah. Yeah. Pardon? Oh, he was unopposed. Yeah, but there was 400,000 people more than Carrie Lake. So the state mine inspector, he must be pretty important. And so, if you look at, my husband was talking about this. If you look through history, 10 years, 20 years, the state mine inspector, you know, it's pretty even, his, you know, up and down his votes. But now it's spiked, the midterm 2022. What's no. And what about this Runback company, the third party company running our election behind closed doors?
What up, Greg D?
Yeah. That's pretty fishy. So at the end of the night, we counted the blank ballots that were left. We started with 4 boxes, so it's 3,200 blank pieces of paper. At the end of the night, we had 1,293. So I looked at the tabulators, and the tabulators were added up to 1,553. When I'm trying to get out, there was a difference on the machines of 239. We were short 239 votes, and so that shouldn't have happened.
You mean
So
you had extra
all the
ballots?
people all day long putting their votes in this tabulator going into box 3 or whatever, the calibration on the tabulators weren't calibrated right per our troubleshooter, and the misreads got mixed up in the batch. So then there was our 2 black bags, and we stuffed the voters' ballots inside these bags, but we should have counted how many went in the black bags. We didn't even do that. They were just put in the black bags, zipped up, wrote on their audit the entire election for our day in our precinct.
I haven't seen chicken egg
Hand
down here. I met
count.
him last time, but I don't know.
And then they go into this truck downtown where you don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Run back, yeah.
So I
So,
got this truck going out, so I want to show you guys this.
anyways, I saw all day long the ballots being rejected. And I worked the 2020 Arizona audit as an observer. That was so wrong. The signature's not verified. Even my dog could have voted in the 2020 election. And, yeah.
Shit, the dogs can vote now.
They're affecting my procedure. It's just anyways.
I see you people over there. Oh, you guys sorry, you can't see them, but you people is right over there.
Hey, who's waiting for someone else to save your country?
No,
Who's waiting?
nobody.
You think President Trump's going to save you? What did he truth out yesterday? What did he tweet out? I'm sorry, he didn't tweet it out. He truthed it out yesterday. What did he tweet out? Give me freedom or give me death? No, he said freedom. And we keep waiting for the legislators to do our job. We keep waiting for the legislators. Who here is committed to stay until they actually revote? I'll be here by myself.
No.
My point is this. If you're waiting for someone else to save you, if you're waiting for the legislator to finally get to the point where they're ethical, where they grow a conscience, you think that's going to happen?
No.
There'll always be another bucket of cash they can walk over and say, here's $1 million. I want you to vote our way. What do you think they're doing to the 4 counties right now? To the people that have to certify? What do you think they're doing to those people there? You don't think they're going over to them saying, hey, what's your aspirations in politics? You don't think they're out there right now trying to lobby to make sure they certify it? You don't think that's happening? How do you think that the legislator is going to save your community? They can't even tell the truth about the machines. They told us to go out there and outvote the algorithm. I was a system architect, expert. I'm a subject matter expert. You cannot outplay the machine. You can't. Machines and mail-in ballots are the gas. Say it with me. The machines and the mail-in ballots are the gas. That's the reality. We act as if we can just, somewhere along the line, hope is going to get us there. Let's cue it to death. And yeah, maybe some of the Q stuff is true. Maybe it is.
That's right,
But the
Emily.
only thing that saves a
Because
free
you're the
nation from
document.
being
I'm
enslaved
not
is
against
free men.
or for it. Honestly, this is just what's going on in our neighborhood right now. So,
That's it.
documenting it.
But we act like we can outsmart the machines. Let's kick it down the road to 2024. Let's leave the machines in place. Let's have Runback just print our ballots. The same private equity firms that own Runback, own Dominion, own Smartmatic, own ES&S, the code base is the same. How are you going to outsmart a machine when there's no transparency? I could put a 10 million ballots through there that say it was for Kerry Lake, and you'll never know, because they say these words, trust us. That's the reality.
That is true.
And you say, well, there's nothing
Doesn't
you can
matter.
do about it.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
you can.
You're not in the know.
You can fill up this entire parking lot. You can get 1 million people down here. But you know what? You might have to miss Good Morning America. For the view. Let's hope we don't watch the view. Or Good Morning America. But that's my point. We're here
Chingy,
for
what's
what?
up, brother? It's been a minute. Good to see
We're
you,
here
bro.
to do what? Do you want a revote?
Yes.
Are you entitled to a revote?
Yes.
You think the court's going to give you a revote?
Yes.
So then what is it going to take?
Using the same machines, though.
I mean, this is a neck-up checkup. What is it going to take in order you to be able to take back your community and take back your state?
Revolution.
Bigger crowd. You go, come here. Come here. No, you're not. We're all one guy. Sorry, hold on one second. You shouldn't have said anything. Yeah, me too. See how well that worked out for me. Say it again.
We need more of us here. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing to see that only just a few of us showed up. I expected a lot more people I guess I'm a fool then that I expected more people to show up and they didn't. So,
Gideon won with 300.
yeah, we have a bunch of influencers that unfortunately tell people not to show up. And, we need to just stay home and where it's safe, right? Put up with it. Like if they take our voice away, if they take away our will to assemble and express ourselves peacefully like this, then what do we have left? So yeah, I agree. I think we need more people. We can't trust the system. We just need more people to show up. I don't know how we do that. That's right. My God doesn't need a mic. We can hear it loud and clear. That's right.
At the end of the day, we still have time. We still have a phone. How many of you are afraid to get on social media right now? Actually, how many of you are not on social media at all? Okay, that's a problem. just because you have to have a voice. But how many of you are afraid to get on social media and say, come down to the Capitol?
Hey, I told you I was gonna be here. Did you hear me?
Why wouldn't
Hi
we?
there, sweet.
Why wouldn't we be down here? Oh, it's a waste of time. Nothing's gonna happen.
What's up,
Yeah.
man? How you doing? Good. How are you? Got you peeps up in the house.
Who were here 2 years
What's
ago
up, what's up?
protesting with us, who were already in cages being tortured. Remember all the old keepers? Remember all those
Yeah.
veterans standing right
Preach.
there? They're all being tortured in cages, and none of you are doing anything. You want to waste out more people here? They're already rounding us up. It's already happening. Wake up!
Hey, how frustrated are you? How tired are you? How tired are you? Are you fatigued? Are you tired of showing up and then you look around and other people sit on their couch and bitch and moan and hold on to their remotes and be like, oh, I know how to fix it. I called out some influencers yesterday and I was like, listen, the only reason you'll show up is if there's 5,000 people that show up there and you got a nice stage with nice lights and you can put on some makeup and walk out there and give them some more hopium. Where's the sacrifice? Where is it? Yeah, I know what Stuart Rhodes is doing right now. They offered him a deal. You know what he said? Nah, I'd rather spend the rest of my life in prison than not live as a free man. This is your state. It's not my state. And yet they tell us not to come out here for what reason? For what reason? It's unsafe? Antifa will show up?
Good.
We're afraid of them for what? We're afraid of the narrative that they'll call you violent?
Good.
We're not
What can
violent.
we do different than last 2 years? We all showed up. We all talked to people. We were all over here. We were emailing. What can we do different now that we didn't already do? That's what we need to know. That's why not a lot of people are here. They're thinking, why come here? It didn't work 2 years ago. So
Okay, what's happening in Brazil? Let's talk about working the problem. Sorry, you can have that in a minute. Let's talk about working the problem. Let's work the problem, but more people aren't showing up.
don't worry about it.
Hold on 1 second. How do you work the problem?
Unite.
Unite.
Stop complying.
Huh?
Stop complaining, gossiping, backbiting, backstabbing. Unite! Unite!
How many of you guys know each other?
Unite for our freedom and our Constitution. It's worth it.
Listen, that's actually the point. We're going to hear people talk about their stories. We're going to hear people talk about their stories. But at the end of the day, the only way that you win is when people get off their couch, when the comfort goes away, when that level rises to the place where they recognize they're slaves. The people in Brazil, you'd say this doesn't work. Tell that to people in Brazil. The military commanders are going to stand up to the highest court there, and they're going to end up stepping in the gap and nullifying that election. But it took the people. And they showed up with 15 people. Then it turned to 30. Then it turned to 50. We let them call us insurrectionists to build a story that wasn't true. And then we walked down the path of saying, shame, shame, guilt, guilt. For what? For wanting to be free? To wanting to have a voice? If you want to win, then people have to show up. And you have to shame them into not showing, and for not showing up. You have to be the actual voice of change. So you're going to hear these stories, but again, we have to come up with a solution. We have to think outside the box. Because their entire time, they wanted us not to show up. And you still did. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, Patriots. It's great to be here and see all these wonderful faces.
All of you here chose to come today and have a reason. And I think that's God brought you here. It's on your heart. I wanted to share something. I have a mail-in ballot story. I'm actually from Pima County. I drove up here this morning, and I bought a house recently when I registered to vote, and when I went out to my mailbox. I'm one of these people that have a locked mailbox, you know the type. You got to walk down the street, you have to have the key. The only other people that have the key is the postman that's putting your mail in. So I go out there, and lo and behold, there are 3 ballots in my box. And I look at them, and I'm like, oh, those are the 2 people that lived here before me. And then I'm looking at these ballots more, and I'm kind of an inquisitive guy, and I'm like, hey, look, my ballot has a big red meter stamp because it went through the Postal Service. It was metered. All of the mail we get is metered. It goes through the post office, and there's a machine, and it goes by, takes a picture, puts a stamp on it, and then sends it out. Well, guess what? The 2 ballots I got from the people that lived at my house before were delivered by USPS, but they have no meter stamp. They were delivered by the post office to my house, only by the post office bringing it outside of their metered system. So there's some shenanigans going on there, and that really perturbed me. And then I just want to bring up this box B. We all know that the ballots were printed different, and so they were falling out. You're going to hear story after story about this all day long, I'm sure. But I'm a math guy. Everyone knows me knows I'm into math. So I hear Katie Hobbs saying through her people that there's 17,000 votes that were collected in these box Bs. Now, how many precincts was those box Bs in? There are 221, I believe. You do the math, it's around 85 votes per box. Now, use your brain. Every one of us, and I didn't vote in this county, I didn't see it myself, but I hear all this testimony. They scanned and scanned and scanned and scanned, and finally they put it in this box B. So, if 50% of the scanning was broken, and the people were putting their votes in box B, and there's all these lines out there, there's more than 80, box 3, there's more than 85 votes in every box 3, and they even had to use other bags. So where the hell, sorry for my cussing there, are those ballots? We need to know. And I'm going to go more into solution space here for how I'm approaching this personally. I realize this. We're in a uniparty situation, and I see the corruption, and I see the sin of our country, and I am humbling myself and trying to bring my life, bringing God into my life, not paying attention to any religion. But there are 2 things that I read in the Bible. 365 times it says, do not fear. Why don't we have more people here? It's because of fear.
Are you a streamer?
We're being fed fear on the TV, and anyone who sees this or hears my voice, do not be afraid.
Somebody just mentioned you on my
Put
channel.
on the armor of God.
I think I met you last time we were
stand
here.
strong.
The protest.
That's what we need to do. And the other thing is,
right now
that it's on my heart, is the word authority. We have authority through the blood of Jesus Christ that he paid for on the cross. Those that have invited Christ into their life, we have authority. Who do we have authority over? We have authority
I don't really cover a lot of protests every once in a while. I like
the rulers of darkness and Satan himself.
Or rallies.
How do you use that authority? You do what I'm doing now. You do it with your mouth. You don't have some prayer in your mind that,
I think I said to you last time I mentioned.
You stand up and you decree and you take authority over the situation. When you see sin or evil or corruption in that capital or elections that are stolen, you say, stop, Satan. I will not let this happen in the name of Jesus and the power of his blood. So that's what I do. That's how I'm personally moving forward, and I appreciate you taking your time and hearing me out. Thank you, and God bless the state of Arizona and you people.
Ooh, shit, he mentioned you people. He's on here.
It was right after the last election.
I'm Vern. I was also in the Maricopa audit, and I want to give you guys some facts that you may or may not know. The Maricopa audit was started by
Thanks for
Karen
joining.
Fan. The reason the Maricopa audit
Welcome to
was
the
started
stream.
by Karen Fan is she found out that her husband was not going to get the $190 million
SUV news first.
contract to fix I-17. Guess who got the contract? $190 million contract to fix I-17. Karen Fan's husband.
Better give me my allowance.
That's why the audit was not followed through. You probably never heard about the forensic side of the audit. We took high definition photos of each ballot. We took three microscopic photos of each ballot. Before they destroyed the ballot, if you had said, I want to see box number 5,120 and I want to see ballot number 26, we could take you to that ballot. We could show you the video of every second that ballot was out of the cage. We had everything. Bronovich is sitting on that evidence. Have you ever heard of that evidence? No. But you did hear about a recount, and a recount that came back, I believe, 950 votes off. One of those votes was mine. One of those votes was yours. 950. The lottery can take 1 billion tickets and tell you in 5 seconds who won, where it was bought, but yet those people can't run an election and tell us to our face that they were 950 off, but that's okay? No, it was not okay. Another thing, the boxes we received, I don't remember, 5,000 or so, 52, if I recall, were sealed. 52. 12 of those boxes were test ballots.
Oh yeah, shout
the
out
test
to
ballots
SUV.
were sealed. So that means under 50 boxes were still properly sealed. I don't know if you heard about this, but as we were counting the ballots, we were getting patterns in the ballots. So, for example, we get 16 Biden, 1 Trump, 16 Biden, 1 Trump, box like that. There were boxes, I did not personally witness one, 100% Biden. How is that possible? You've heard about Runback. Well, the audit was told not to touch
San
Runback.
Joaquin Valley
What
Transparency. What up,
happened
brother?
is our ballots went from the voting center, and this happened this time too, to Runback. Runback stuffed the boxes and then brought them back. That's why the boxes weren't sealed. So when you talk about a recount, we were counting counterfeit ballots. You can count counterfeit ballots all day long. It makes no difference because they're counterfeit. If you want to know something about the audit, ask them to give us the forensic evidence. It still exists.
Morning. Larry G. Some of you people know me. I see many faces that I recognize from the very first day that we were out at the elections office. Tina, Candace, Marissa, these are all named. Lots of these people were here on that very first day. Okay? A few things I got, they say 3 minutes, so I'm going to be quick. At 3 in the morning on November 4th, 2020, an elections officer came out of the, and did an interview on Next News Network and said, when 90% of the votes counted, Biden would need 94% to catch Trump, and that's not going to happen. So we're calling it for Trump. Maricopa and Arizona for Trump at 3 in the morning. At 4 in the morning, Tucker Carlson knew about it because I sent it to him. And so did Epic Times, and so did One American News, and 20 other agencies. They all knew by 4 in the morning. So what they announced later on that day, what did Fox do? See, they all know and they're all in on it. So there's a few things I gotta say, because I heard today, what do we do? And I've been saying for almost a couple of years, we gotta organize. We gotta get together. We gotta brainstorm. And this is kind of like a brainstorm. You're asking, what do we do? You gotta brainstorm. Okay, we got groups. Okay? And I even heard about being a PC. If you're not a PC, be a PC. They're not better than us, and we are smarter, and we're more aware, and we have better ethics. Be a PC, get in there. I'm a PC. Somebody mentioned John McCain before about flooding the PCs. Yeah, a few years ago, when I went to re-up as a PC, I found that my slot was already filled by John McCain. Okay? So you got to get in there because that's where it starts. Okay, some other things. David Jose is in on this fight with us as much as anyone else. Thank you. Okay, and he's come out and he's fighting. He's not an actual lawyer, but he's fighting in the courts and he wins cases. And the Arizona Supreme Court is listening and watching him closely because he's saying the right things. He's going the right route, and he wins cases. He even wins cases against CPS all the time. David Jose. And what he has said is, okay, you know about Jovan Pulitzer, okay? Fill an affidavit. Affidavit mom was right over there. Fill an affidavit. Everybody here, okay, they only have a little over a couple thousand or something affidavits. They need more. If everyone here did it, they'd have a couple hundred more today. Fill an affidavit, send it to Jovan. It takes $5. In fact, I think it just costs $5 with them. Do it, and let's get this thing rolling through David Jose. We can do it. We're not going anywhere. I'm not mad. I'm furious. I don't have grandkids. I have great grandkids. And quite frankly, they can kill me tomorrow. Oh, I don't need a mic. Kelly came here from California. Okay? Lots of people. Okay, I gotta say goodbye. But doing these things, stay organized, stay together, doing these things with the affidavit. Let's work the right way through the courts. Okay? And I'm not going anywhere. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not going anywhere.
Hello, Arizona. My name's Dave. I came all the way from Wisconsin. Frozen tundra. I'm telling you, it was 8 degrees when I left. This is beautiful. Unfortunately, look around. You need more people. We could have got this place filled up in Wisconsin, I'm sorry to say, and it would have been 8 degrees. But you people are special. Look around. God blessed you with the ability and the blessing of discernment. You know the truth. You obviously are here because of the truth, because you know the truth. Use the truth. Let me just tell you what we did in Wisconsin. You probably heard some names. Janelle Branchen, anybody heard of her? Possibly. She's been on stories with the Gateway Pundit, along with, unfortunately, a quote-unquote Republican. Well, she's a Republican, but a true one, true conservative. But then we've also got our Speaker of the Assembly, which is Robin Voss. Okay, you know what? He's not really a rhino. Everybody calls him a rhino. He's a brain-dead Republican because he's just too comfortable in his position. He's, you know, when Scott Walker was governor, they did some great things. And he's really not a rhino because he never votes with the Democrats, which rhinos tend to do. He's just brain dead. He's just too comfortable. And obviously, you've got people in your state house that are just too comfortable. Same deal. All over the country, it's the same way. Of course, we're all worried about the machines. You know, yeah, if you have fake ballots, and you can count fake ballots over and over, you're still going to come up with the same numbers. So I'm an election worker. They call him Chief Election Inspector, which kind of runs your little, you know, wards. Anyways, so been doing that for a number of years. Well, this last year, with all the controversy regarding machines, I went to our county executive. Now, I live in the reddest county in the whole state of
According to my
Wisconsin,
watch, is 66.
which is nice. So the people in elected position are all Republicans. Most of them are good Republicans and very conservative. So I went to my county executive at a public meeting afterwards, and I said, hey, I'm an election worker. Why can't we just take our ballots and count them by hand on the night of the election? And let's, because we have Dominion machines, let's just make sure that it equals at least the vote for our top 3 offices. Because he said, oh, we can't do that, we can't do that. That's, you know, you've probably got 10 races on each election, you know, each day. So what I did was suggested, how about if we do a hand count of just the governor, attorney general, and the Senate. So that was Ron Johnson's seat. And he came back and said, well, maybe we could do that. I'll think about it. A week later, we had another meeting. He was at another public event, and he made this huge announcement. The county set aside $50,000, not just to count a few individual precincts, but we are going to hand count the entire county starting December 5th. So it's a start. The point is, if our machines come up with a different number than our hand count, it's somewhat of a foot in the door. Okay, let's get rid of these things. They're obviously not accurate. I'm just saying. You know, you got to start somewhere. Maricopa County, it's just too big. Like you say, you got people in here that just aren't going to listen. Go to your reddest county in the state. Get that one solved, and then get the next one, or do 3, 4 in a single election season. You could possibly get things straightened out. Because if it doesn't, you see what happens. They're just running over us. Unfortunately, the brain dead Republicans are convincing us to do what? Yeah, come in and vote on election day. They knew it was going to happen. They knew that they were going to stop you people from voting. They did it on purpose. It was a setup.
I got no cheese on. I stood in St. Paul. I was back in Iowa.
Test. Okay, I'm extremely uncomfortable coming up here. It's very difficult for me, so you don't have to put up with me for 3 minutes. Yeah, that sounds better. At heart, I'm a big believer in the Minuteman tradition. I'm a Minuteman at heart. I'm a 3% sheepdog. Yeah, there you go. Now, I'm not here to talk, I'm not going to promote civil war or anything like that. That's a subject for another day. But I see a silver lining here, and that is to wake up that 3% Minuteman that's out there. That's the silver lining here. Get up, we should be prepared. Even in good times, we should be promoting the Minuteman tradition. It's a great tradition of our country. Now, there's a lot of you out there that are going to say, well, there's just, they're out of shape, they're poorly armed, they're not properly trained. There's no way they can take on, let's say, the military or the National Guard or the Army or a combination of the United Nations or everything else. You could not be more absolutely wrong. You could not be more wrong. And in a nutshell, I will remind you, the Viet Cong defeated us, the Taliban defeated us, the Mujahideen defeated the very brutal Russian army. Why? How is that? And how is it that it will always be that way? It's understanding how you defend your country. It's a war of attrition. It's not a war of weapons. Our military has a lot of weapons they have to take care of and maintain and use, and they're not going to, as our president, Joe Biden said, we can use the F-16s to destroy. Well, good luck if you're going to do that blowing up a city. I don't think you're going to stay president for very long. But again, Minuteman tradition. I'd like to see more people see the silver lining and wake up and get out there and not tell themselves that, oh, I'm out of shape. Oh, I don't know enough. I don't have against the biggest army in the world. Just remember, the Viet Cong did it, the Taliban did it, the Mujahideen did it. And that's how it is in this country, okay? All right. Testing. That was the ball.
Hello, everyone. You might not know who I am, but I'm an unemployed, pissed off professor that's tired of stolen elections. And when I came here today, the first thing I heard was everyone's disappointment. Where are the people? What are you expecting? They're out at Black Friday. They're doing their shopping because we lost our country because we're addicted to comfort. You all know this. The question is, what are you going to do about it? I heard that my friend Joe asked how many people were willing to stay here, and there's about 6 people that raised their hands. Are you telling me we only got 6 people here that have the testicular fortitude to do something about this? What's your commitment? So we need to organize. You all are obviously ahead of the curve because you're here. So we're not shaming you, you're here. But how do we grow this? We have to stand firm. We have to be that stone that's unmovable, that will grow something, even if it's moss. But we're going to grow. So throughout the day, network, coordinate, get a table. Let's have a sheet for prayer vigil. Let's open the Word. Let's read. Let's proclaim Scripture. Let's get on a schedule. Let's stay here tonight. I'm not going anywhere. If we got to get our lawn chairs, we got to get the barbecue out, we stay the night. We camp. We have fun. This is an adventure, folks. This is not work. This is you saving your country for your children. So you need a fix for you. You have to fix your vision right now, folks. Are you tough or are you not? Are you weak? Are you feckless? Or are you someone that's going to stand firm and grow? Grow this crowd. Pray about it. This isn't about a protest for today. This is today into tomorrow. And then the next day. And then the next day. And your mission is to keep bringing people here.
Exactly. I feel
to stand firm until you get yourself an election that was free of corruption. It's that simple. Are you willing to do it? That's the question. Are you willing to do it? That's the question. I'm not even from Arizona, for crying out loud. I left my 3 kids, my wife. We're staying here until you get a new election. It's that simple. Brazil's teaching us Americans on how to do this, folks. It's almost been 30 days there. They got 3 million people outside. And because we're so fat and comfortable, shopping, we'll just let our republic go where? Down the pisser. So folks, today, stop moping. Stop feeling sorry for yourselves. Stop talking about your disappointment and do something about it. It starts now. This is just the beginning. Are you committed to coming back? If you have to work, can you take a lunch break and come back here? If you work during the day, can you come here in the evening? Keep a prayer vigil. Can you start shifts? Can you start calendaring, making time for this when you can? Folks that are retired, do you really have anything else that you need to be doing right now? If you've got vacation time at your work, can you take that time and stand firm until you get a new election? These are the questions you need to resolve today. And there will be people that will stay here. So please, don't give up hope. This is the beginning of something special because you're special. You're here. This is the message to the folks that aren't here. Come, stand. How many millions of people had their voices robbed? How many hundreds of thousands of people in Maricopa County lost their voice, and why aren't they here? If we can have 60,000 people show up in the middle of the desert to see Donald Trump, those same 60,000 people can come here and demand a new election. So there's going to be plenty of time for speakers to speak, tell you about how crappy your elections are. We can do that. Or we can start showing up and sending a message to the tyrants that stole your election from you. Yes, that's Katie Hobbs. tyrant. Bill Gates, tyrant. Steve Ricker, tyrant. But they're not scared of you because they're not scared of this. We haven't done enough. So dig in, dig in,
Just
dig
photobombed
in.
this
This is just the beginning, folks. This is just the beginning. So if you've got friends left, I don't have many left, but if you've got them, get them, bring them here. Let's go camping, folks. It's time to camp. All right? So let's just keep this energy going. Make friends, acquaintances, and let's fight peacefully. God bless you.
Crowd did get a little bigger.
My name is Darla. I'm from the Verde Valley. And when my boyfriend initially was coming here yesterday, I initially said, I'm scared and I don't want to go. But as we talked, I realized that I'm part of the problem if I don't come here.
No, Spoke. Hey, no worries, bro. I get it. You have all the right to subscribe or unsubscribe to who you want to, bro.
And the Tacoma Health Department.
Yeah, I have moderators here to moderate some of the chat. Sometimes it's gotten a little crazy where people are just trying to get at people. But you do absolutely have freedom of speech here, man. If you want to say something that's how you feel, that's your opinion, spin it out, bro. Ain't nobody gonna block you or take it off.
Because my freedom will be gone.
I know AZ Unfiltered personally, and I know Tempe Against Police Violence personally, and these guys ain't gonna unblock you, bro. They'll troll, they'll say whatever, but they're not gonna block you. They're not gonna remove your comment.
Because they were sheep and they were wearing masks and they were threatening me. I refused to take a job that said I had to take the jab or wear a mask. And I was unemployed for 6 months. You guys are complacent. I've gotten complacent. I mean, I came here to fight. When I was in Washington, there was a lady who survived the Tiananmen Square attack. And she came and she spoke at a rally. And she's like, you don't want communism because I've lived it and I came to this country to get away from it. I didn't come here to live it again. All of us. You talked about uniting, all of this. Look at the faces of these people because we've talked a lot about this on the way here. Go to those people who say they want to unite. This is great. We get all pumped up and then we go home and we live our lives. There's no life left. It's gone. They're not going to do anything in the courts. We have to do something. Yes, it has to be peaceful. We have to overrule law, but we have to do something. There was a guy that would come to the protests and he would say, stand up or bend over. So which is it going to be?
Jimmy Russell, so what's up, brother?
Are you going to stand up? Because I got a 31-year-old daughter who won't have children now because I don't want a child in this world. We have to think not of ourselves, but we have to think of our children, our grandchildren, and our future generations, because if this country falls, our world falls, and they want us to go down. I will die for this country. I will die because I will not live as a slave. Thank you.
My name is Denise, and I don't normally do this, but I came here for a purpose. And when I look out and I see this race isn't over, and we need to go by our hearts, go by what God has given us. He's speaking to each and every one of us to speak out and act out, because Gideon's army only had 300. George Washington's army, and I lived in the East Coast, lived in Philadelphia. What did George Washington's army have? They were defeated when they were when they had to cross over the Potomac. They outsmarted the British army, and that's what we need to be now. We're here all on purpose. And the purpose is that we don't like the results of this election, the way things are running in this state. And start small, and then work big. We're waiting for these big armies so we can outsmart them. I said, no, we got enough people here. And the gentleman said before, we have enough signatures of Patriot Army to outsmart them. So let's outsmart them. Do not. This race is not over. I'm wearing a marathon shirt because how many of you run a marathon before? Okay? You know, when it's 18 miles, it stinks. Okay? Because you got to make choices. Either you go to the bathroom or you want to finish the race. We want to finish this race. And we want it the way we want to turn out, because I'm tired of giving up, evil being good and then have to redefine whatever. And no, we need to stand up. We want Arizona revote. And as I was talking to
Kanye.
Kelly,
I heard it's gonna be one of the Kardashians, not Kanye, running for 2024.
we have enough signatures to call for a recount. So those are the solutions I'm bringing to this problem. And don't give up. Wake up and wake up your neighbor. Are you with me? Do I hear you? Are you with me? Thank you. God bless America.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be Kim.
Patriots, so glad you're here. My name is Melinda. I'm a
Every
homeschool
camera
mom,
counts. What's up,
I'm a
brother?
rancher's wife, and I'm also a worship leader. And I'm asking you to unite with me, sing with me. Let's sing Amazing Grace, the first and last verse with me. Please, if you can stand, stand. If you can't, that's okay too. But let's unite and let's lift our praise to the God who made a covenant with this country, y'all. God made a covenant with America. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. I was blind, but now I see. When we've been here 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, thank you all so much for that. We can use praise to unite us, y'all. I'm not sure that I have answers as to how to go forward. I do know that we need to be united, just like some of these other speakers were talking about. We need to be united. We need to be encouraged. Like Denise was talking about, we need to encourage each other because, like it said in Colossians, Jesus made a public spectacle out of his enemies when he arose from that grave. And we need to stand in solidarity with each other. Our children and our great-grandchildren's future depends on it. Powers and principalities, y'all, if you don't know what they are very real. We are living in a spiritual battle right now. And it looks like evil is winning. If we unite and we pray the correct prayers, that we bind the evil, that we loose the angels to help us fight this battle, y'all, we win. Thank you so much, and God bless you guys. I'm going to be in the back here. If you all want prayer, please come, and I will pray with you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ellen Gross. I'm a precinct committeeman from Elko refugee from California. My husband and I moved here so we could sit on the porch, rocking our rocking chairs, play with grandchildren, and never wanted to be political again because we moved to a red state. I'm convinced this is still a red state, but I did become a precinct committeeman, And I urge you all to do that. Precinctstrategy.com has all the information you need. Once you're a PC, or if your precinct is full, or if they tell you it's full, you can still be an associate PC. It's unofficial, but you can do all the work. And you can get a list of voters in your neighborhood or community. And I urge you to get to know them, because we don't know what's happening in our country. We do know that even brain dead Joe Biden talked about the New World Order, and Klaus Schwab openly said that our whole world needs to be restructured. It's going to be important to know all of your neighbors, your Democrat neighbors as well. They are not the enemy. I believe they are mostly fooled or ignorant or blinded. And so get to know everybody as a precinct committeeman so that you are the go-to person for elections. They know to go to you for the judges, the propositions, the candidates. Another thing I wanted to tell you about is the Arizona Republican Family Caucus. We need to be in this for the long haul. We need to take our society back. We have plans to reach into Hispanic neighborhoods that vote Democrat by holding baby showers for pregnancy centers. We have plans to tutor our children who are in severe need of it following the shutdown. And we need people to carry out these plans. We have many other plans as well. There's an email address. It's azrepfamilycaucus@protonmail.com. Sorry it's so long. But email that address if you're at all interested. It's all over Maricopa County. Please contact us. This will give you something to do. I know a lot of us are frustrated because we don't know where to go from here, but let's take back our state and participate in the AZ Rep Family Caucus.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go find Tapatio stopwatch and you people. I'm running low on battery on my gimbal, and I have the battery in this car. They went out here to the museum.
You name it. Our first responders
So
are
let's go see if we can find these guys.
And we would love to have you join us. We normally meet the
I need his keys.
Thursday of every month at 5:30 at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in Queen Creek. December.
There's more people out here camping out.
Fourth Thursday is Christmas. But please join us for the patriotic rosary. And God bless you.
All right, guys. Well, we have a little bit of quiet time, so let's chat real quick. You know, I don't really stand on either side with this issue. I do, however, sit and listen with an open mind. You know, it's hard because if it depends on which side of the coin you fall is how you strongly feel about this issue. But think about it, if you think about it with an open mind, this was your party that did this. They did this to your party, right? Or your candidate, or you truly believe that somebody's gonna effect some change, and you find evidence or you find things that, you know, there's a lot of little things. That's the thing. There's not evidence of, you know, one big thing that happened, like they stole it, they cheated. There's just no real concrete evidence about that, right? So you can firmly say, well, that never happened. What if it did? What if it happened to you? What if they stole your vote, your voice? Then it matters a little bit more, you know what I mean? Why not openly listen and make up your own mind whether they did or not? That's my opinion. You know, there's a lot of little things going on, you know, that kind of add up to something. What that something is? Could they have stole it? Yeah. Did they? Maybe yes, maybe no, right? But it's important to listen with an open mind and make up your mind that way. You know, a lot of people just, not everyone, but a lot of people will immediately shut things down because that's not what they believe, you know? I'm here to just listen. I don't believe it. but I'm here to listen and bring it to you guys, right? That's my opinion on it, but I wish more people listened to the other side and then make up their minds instead of just yelling because they're from the other side, just shutting down. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's my opinion, guys. We're here at the museum. We'll go back in a little bit, guys. I just gotta get my battery pack. My gimbal's about to die, so you guys might see the phone just fall. This guy should be in here. Hello. Did you guys see the camera walk in here?
Yeah, but I don't know if they left yet. They've been up and down.
Oh, they went up and up. Thank you. Thank you. Capitol building here, so you guys can see it's pretty empty. There it goes. All right, guys, gimbal just died. Give me a second. I'm just gonna turn this off. Using big difference. Hopefully we. Hello. Did you guys see two camera guys running around here?
Yeah.
Two guys with cameras.
They were up with a tripod?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of them kind of along here.
Yeah. Did he go?
Here about, I don't know, about 35, 40 minutes ago, and they went back out.
No, they went back out? All right. Thank you, man. Yeah, they weren't sure if they got out or not.
They were right here taking pictures. They were right here taking pictures.
How's your day going?
Not bad. It's lonely. You know?
Yeah, it's dead. It's dead.
It's a ghost town, man. The house is closed. The civic's closed.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are open though. Thank you, man. Have a good day.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, for sure. You too.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Hey, Joe.
Forgot how steady, how hard it is to keep this thing steady with your hand. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Thank you. We might have just missed them out there. Does anybody know where Tapatio's Cop Watch or you people? They should be live right now. Or if anybody can jump onto either one of their channels and see if they're out here. Alrighty, thank you, Tempe. Yeah, video sucks without gimbal. Not the same. Ah, they're inside the building. Can you do me a favor, Tempe? Can you put on their chat if they can come to the front of the building? Let them know I just need I need my battery pack. Appreciate you, bro. So for those of you guys that are not from this area, this is the Capitol building. This is where the governor has his office. And we got the House. The House on this side, House of Representatives. And then you got the State Senate on this side. And they're going at it over there. don't even know where the museum's at. I know it's in here somewhere in this building, but they're looking at dishes in the museum. Another Liberty Bell here. What up, David C? You know, one thing, you know, for those of you guys that still remain, one thing that is pretty funny and hilarious. I mean, if you think about it, it's sad too, but if you think about it, how is it, one of the speakers said, how is it that the lottery can take billions of tickets and tell you exactly where that ticket was purchased, at what time, all that stuff, right? What is the, how hard would that be to make that as far as voting? I mean, you also have things like American Idol, right? You know, they go live, people sing, within minutes of the show ending, people call and vote, right? I mean, that could be rigged also, right? But I mean, there's so many other ways that this can be done. This is, it's just ludicrous to think that, you know, that can't happen. I'm not saying it happened, but it's ludicrous to think that it can't happen. It's politics. Politics, you know, I mean, you're giving the power to a person. You know, you're giving the power, not just power. You're giving the power to represent all of our voices to somebody. Do you guys, I mean, it's not far-fetched to think that that is not corruptible. You know, so again, I'm not saying that this is true. I'm just saying that we need to open up our minds and unite and see things like that. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, here comes Tapatíos. You know, again, I'm just trying to keep as much of an open mind as possible. But it's not far-fetched to think that this is absolutely possible. What's up, brother? Se me apagó, I gotta get my battery pack. Oh yeah.
Sí, que me fumó un cigarro. Hey, está chingón allá adentro, güey.
Yeah, it's badass. You never been in there?
No, I never been in there, no.
Yeah, I've been through every floor of that building.
I mean, they got a lot of real good stuff in there. A lot.
Thank you, Ohio. He's here. Appreciate you, brother. We're just gonna go get my battery pack.
What's his name? Tempe told me too.
Yeah.
I was in the second floor.
I mean, think about this, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a leadership role. Once you get into a leadership role, it's hard to get off, right? And if somebody's gonna vote you off, you know, so some people may do everything it takes, regardless of what it is, to get reelected. And you got two parties with very different opinions, very different ways to run the country, you know. And also, I mean, think about this: like, what state is the country in right now? You know, I'm not saying that Trump was better than Biden, but I mean, I don't know them personally, right? But I can tell you that I paid cheaper gas when Trump was elected. I paid cheaper rent, paid less for food, but there was also more violence. There was more acceptable violence to most people. So is that a good trade-off? Not in my opinion. But at the same time, it's like, man, I mean, the middle class is really getting hit right now. You know, it doesn't matter if you make good money. There's no point of, there's no benefit of making real good money, or good money, decent money, if most of that is going to be paid in bills that weren't bills for you a year or two ago or 3 years ago. You know, I mean, inflation it's always getting more expensive and stuff, but not like this. This has gotten exaggerated the last 2 years. Acceptable violence. I guess what I mean by that is there was a whole lot more violence, and a lot more people were willing to inflict that violence. I'll give you an example. A lot of people united for the MAGA, right? And it's not acceptable. I don't mean acceptable by all. I mean, a lot of the mainstream media, a lot of people joined in that violence, and that's not okay. You know, So that like I said, that to me, in my opinion, that's not a good trade-off. You know, to live more in fear, to have more people get away with stuff. You know, kind of like having a day of purging, right? Like the movie The Purge. You know, is that a good trade-off? Yeah, you're gonna pay everything cheaper, you're gonna be better off, but we're gonna have a day of purge. That's not a good trade-off. Alright guys, hold on, let me grab my battery pack here. Give me a second. Bear with me for a second, guys.
No, she was. And then all right, guys, is dropping that you guys?
I'm a conservative by nature, but I haven't been always in a Republican. I was deputy sheriff in York County, Illinois, Chicago, until about 2009. I got married and I moved out here. I'm also first generation American.
¿Qué tanto cochinero cargo conmigo? Hey, wait.
Just in case, bro.
That way I could connect my phone in the museum.
Alright, guys. And we are back. Alright, I got my gimbal back on. You guys can see the difference.
We don't get our rights from the Constitution.
¿Ya fumaste? ¿En dónde?
On the way over there. Smoke another one.
Es que no quiero fumar allá adentro.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Down there?
¿En serio? ¿No se pusieron locos?
Because we all can't represent in one space, in one building. We've represented, we've elected these people, these servants. They are not our leaders. People have to remember that they are not our leaders. They are our servants. They are our employees, right? So, there's a great woman from
Alright guys, we're coming back to this right here.
her name is Yvette.
Looks like there's a, oh, they got
Together a small video it's on Telegram, it's on Instagram, it's everywhere. But I just want to play the audio portion of this so you guys can, if you know, it's a reminder. If you don't know, it's very important.
I think these guys are taking a tour or something, but it's the, oh, what are these guys called?
We have the remedy of removing them, removing the government, okay, that will concern us. They're not doing our will. If they're doing the inherent harm of rights, we have to happen.
You're out in public, sir. There's no expectation of privacy. You should teach them that. He said, I don't think everyone wants to be filmed. There you go, Boy Scouts, Boys and Girl Scouts, that's what it looks like. Oh yeah? I thought they were separate. I think for me, in my opinion, one thing I do find real fishy is there were a few counties that went to court and requested to do a hand count on top of the machine count. So it's not like they're asking, hey, let's only hand count votes, right? But they were requested to hand count and then tabulate them. So you have an accuracy, right? There's accuracy, there's no more concerns of accuracy. And I think the fact that they were denied at every step of the court, there was one that was denied the day of. There was a county in Nevada that wanted to do a hand count and then tabulate them, and they all got denied. And it's like, why? It's going to benefit everyone. It's going to prove your point, or it's going to prove the point of the other, of the opposition. And I think what happens is that makes it look more suspicious. Like they don't want the opposition's point to be proven, you know? And again, I mean, regardless of which side of the line you stand, why wouldn't that be beneficial for both sides, right? Unless of course, like I said, you know the outcome's going to change for sure.
What's going on, bro? Live streaming. No, we're right here. What's going on, man? Tapatio. Yeah.
We say love tapatio. Check this out, guys. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, but check this out.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I live right here actually.
Mace chicken. So this is the crowd still left over.
No, not yet. I did it once. I haven't been. Yeah, there's a lot of.
So that was a very good video that I passed around to my social media.
Maybe, Mike. Maybe. You know, again, bro, I'm not with or against it. Honestly, I'm not with or against it, but I believe more in accountability. You know, if the opposition wins, if your party wins, it doesn't matter. It's what matters is accountability and being precise with things, because this is not just, it's not a vote of, you know, would you rather have burgers or tacos today, right? Where honestly, burgers or tacos would be great, but it's a vote of somebody that's going to control, you know, pretty much the next 4 years, or how much you pay for gas, or how much you pay for rent and all that, the food. You know, somebody who has that type of power, it's something that we should not be taking lightly. Not a lot of people left, but I wonder how many of these people will be opting to stay. It's going to be interesting. There's a little memorial here.
We had this place packed out here. I own a little company called Wildfix up the pools in the valley. I lease big video trucks, and I was responsible for most of the truck trains that ran around the valley. I've been out there doing this for about
Let's go keep checking out the speeches, guys.
What would happen is in 2016, if you were a Trump supporter and you met up with a Hillary supporter, you were castrated. I mean, literally eviscerated by these people who were so passionate about being with her that they had no problem telling you how they felt about you, your family, your kids, and whatever else. And I was like, you know what? That's not the way life is supposed to be. That's not the way elections are supposed to be. I'm not going to be feared into being silent. I'm not going to be silenced, period. So I became very active. As a business owner, you always walk a fine line between your customers. What I figured out is I didn't need liberal or Democratic customers. So since 2016, we've managed to run our business on 95% Republican and Patriot customers, which has been very helpful to me. Very much so. The best part of that is that the way they treat you. And I can tell you that liberal customers are very entitled. They treat your office like they're entitled. They text you like they're entitled. They email you like they're entitled. What I found with people who are like-minded like me is that they're reasonable. They understand economics. They understand lockdowns. They understand all of the things that affect businesses. So if you run behind, they're not yelling at you and castrating you and ostracizing you and trying to go online and ruin your business, right?
Your businesses too.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. We are the ones creating employment. We are the ones creating momentum. We are the ones standing out here fighting for the right things. And now, do I believe that we need to forget that we have Democratic and liberal neighbors? Absolutely not, because we need to find a way to bridge them into the reality of what's happening in this world. They all have their heads in the sand. We can't go out angry. We can't go out and be just
mean and nasty people. That's not us. We have to embrace these people. We have to love them with information. We have to love them with the truth, right? Because we're all conspiracy factualists. I was a conspiracy factualist before anybody realized that conspiracy theories are only theories until what? They're proven to be factual, correct? Exactly. So fortunately, over the last many years, we've been right a lot more than we've been wrong. And everybody wants to just kind of give us like, oh, these are extreme MAGA people. Like, yeah, I'm an extremist. I love my country. I love my neighbors. I love my businesses. I love my kids. I love my church. And I believe my borders to be secure. So am I an extremist? Absolutely. But here's the thing. Why is it that loving America is a right-wing extremist thing? Why doesn't everybody love America? Why when I drive down the street and I see flags on the houses, those American flags are houses of who? Republicans, right? Why is it that our flag has been used as a tool to create division? And it's diversion. That's the key word. It's not about division, people. It's about diversion. Everything that we're seeing is a diversion from something else. I always used to laugh. Anything that a Democrat is for is usually what they're against. And anything they're against is usually what they're for. Prime example is they're supposed to be the progressive party that are reaching the younger generation, but who was in charge of the House? Who's in the presidency? Right? Old, white politicians. Isn't that who they're fighting against? They want to tax billionaires, but who are the billionaires? What party do the billionaires belong to? Anybody figure that out? It's really right in front of our face, but we're so ignorant as a country that people are like, put your head in the sand, just do what you're told, get in lockstep, and do it. That's just it. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm not about things being fine anymore. 2 years ago, we packed this very area right here. We stood up there, right there, with speaker after speaker after speaker for hours upon end. And this place was packed all along here. Am I upset that the group is small today? No, absolutely not. You know why? Because you are here. I'm not upset that the group is small because this is where it starts. People get scared and they're being told to stay home and they're being told not to go out. They're being told, look what happened to January 6th. Look what happened to Jake. Anybody remember Jake? I love Jake. Jake is the man, and he used to stand there and he spoke a lot of truth. He used to come out here and he was probably over the top for a lot of people, but that was Jake. I'm not upset that he did what he did. He called me after he got back from Washington. He said, hey, you know what, man, this is crazy. He said, they want me to come back. They didn't come to his house and take him. He flew back to Washington. He got on a plane, went through TSA, and flew back. How do you think he got here? He went through TSA, got on a plane, and came back. You don't think they know who Jake is? Let's be honest. It's all diversion. Everything is diversion. It's designed to silence you. Look what happened to the people January 6th. You got to be quiet. You can't say anything. You might get put in jail. They might take away your voice. If they take away my voice, you're the next voice. And if you're not talking to your neighbors and your friends and you're not posting on social media and you're not being active, that's the only way our voice gets silenced. This started very small 2.5 years ago. These started very small, groups very much like this. That's why I'm not upset the group's small today. That's why I'm not upset that you turned out. Because this is how it started. And it started to roll, and it started to roll. But we had groups here, we had groups on the lawn, and we had everything in between. Hundreds of people would show up to these events. The Trump rallies. I had 96 miles of cars. Anybody remember that one? Cave Creek and Lake Pleasant Road. I left. I got to Whitman after driving down the I-17, heading out the 202, down the 202, back to the US 60, down to the US 60, down to the 303, all the way down to 303, got off on Bell Road, went to Whitman, got off there. And people were still leaving Lake Pleasant and Carefree Highway when I got to Whitman, where I was out at Dylan's Barbecue. That was amazing. Telling you what, seeing it, hearing it on the radio, listening to the people talk when we got to Dylan's, having the opportunity to sit around and meet people. My news feed, my friends list, my phone is full of hundreds and hundreds of people that I've met while being out here. And if you're not introducing yourself and giving your number to at least one person, you're not doing the right thing, because your voice can never be silenced if it's always being heard. Remember that. You have to speak in order to be heard. You have to stand up in order to be seen. You have to be here in order to be heard by down there, right? Sitting at home, talking about doing something, being a social media warrior doesn't do anything for us. Getting out, knocking on doors. This year I ran for LD 27, State House of Representatives. I ran against Kevin Payne and Ben Toma. You know who was just made the Speaker of the House? Anybody know? Ben Toma. I started my campaign at the end of April of this year, which means that I only campaigned for 3.5 months, but I was so pissed off that I figured, you know what, I'm gonna make some noise. They were forced to spend, they weren't planning on spending anything on their elections. They were forced to spend over $300,000 to make sure that they beat me. Whether or not I would have beat them, I don't know. But I will tell you in 2024, I'm not gonna lose. Because the control of our governor sits where? In that house. And the ineffective leadership that we have in the house could have stopped 2022 from being a problem, right? But did they? Did they stand up and make a difference? Did they go after the one day, one vote bill? HB 2289, did they stand up and fight for that? No, in fact, they fought against it or they stayed silent. Why did they stay silent? Because they didn't want to be put into extremist category. Election deniers, what they call us now. I am so pissed off by the rhetoric that I hear on the news and what I'm hearing in the world. And what I'm more upset about is that people are becoming fearful of being out there and putting themselves out there. That's what's upsetting me. We start this small right here and we gain momentum. But if you're not talking to your neighbors, if you're not getting out your friends, we don't need the same faces every day. We need the same faces plus new faces, right? This is what we need, guys. You have to stand up. I bring these trucks out because I'm uncensored. This is an investment for me. I get paid nothing to be here. It costs me thousands of dollars to show up an event with these trucks. They cost gas, drivers, they have to do the artwork for them. But I show up because that gets a message out. It lets people know that we're here, and people have become very much appreciative of the fact that we show up, right? We show up, and we ask you to continue to show up, and we ask you to continue to bring your neighbors and talk and talk and talk and never stop talking. We have to get active. We have to be involved in what's here. If you're in your precinct, if you're not going to your LD meetings, if you're not standing up to sign up to be a precinct committeeman or running for an office, you need to start doing that. Because we need to get people in that are like-minded, that understand the problem, that are there to fix it. And then you have a network of people throughout the rest of the communities that are there to support you. That's the reality, guys. I'm impressed and I'm appreciative for you all to be here. You all need to give yourselves a round of applause because that's what it's about. Realistically, turn to somebody, introduce yourself, give them your phone number, friend them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is that you communicate on, True Social. Become active, become involved, and be heard. And never stop being heard, but you need to keep bringing people to this. I love you guys. This is my state. I'm a second-generation Arizona native. I will never believe that this state is purple, blue, or any color but red. I will never believe that, and neither should you. And we will not accept the results until we get the truth. Thank you guys again.
Everyone, it's about 2 years ago that my path crossed a very, very special lady. And she and I, with thousands of volunteers, did a canvas door to door. You know, your average poll, if it's 750 people, that's considered a national poll. We went to over 16,000 homes. And 30% or higher across the county said, I voted one way, but it was recorded another way. And yet, when we turned in our canvas report, no one wanted to cover it. But I've really had an honor, it's been an honor and a privilege to get to know this person, and she just announced she's going to be running for U.S. Senate. Let's hear Liz Harris. Come on.
All right, James was not supposed to introduce me as running for Senate, but that's okay. All right,
So let me explain to you what's going on right now. All of the people that I ran with a lot of people on election integrity. For those of you who are on the Zoom call in the morning, we have a 6:30 a.m. Zoom call every day. I was talking about the Arizona First candidates. And one of the things we stood for, besides the border and making sure our water was straightened out and everything like that, was election integrity. I need to know why those 16 people are not, they all won like I did. Why are those 16 people not here standing next to me? Okay, instead they're angry at me. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not all of them, but some of them are upset with me and I'll explain why. I'm gonna give you all the weeds, all the details, so that you understand how it works. Because if you don't understand how it works, then you're not gonna know who to vote for in 2 years. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that we can get this election situation corrected, not fixed, because it's already fixed, but we need to get voting corrected so that we're electing the people we want in office. Okay, so we met after the winners were pretty much chosen for the House and the Senate. And so what you do is you meet, normally it's like a day or two after the election, and you vote for Senate, so the Senate votes for Senate President, and the House votes for Speaker of the House. So I met with the House caucus. Okay, it was an undisclosed location. The date was kind of shifting. So the letter that we received from Rusty Bowers said, do not talk about this event, do not talk about the location, do not reveal the location. So I went to the event, we had our elections. Ben Toma won Speaker of the House. Leo Biasucci won Majority Leader, and Teresa Mitchell won Whip. Okay, so at the end of the meeting, Travis Graham said, does anyone have any issues with a voice vote by acclamation when we go into session? So in other words, we're basically going to vote those people in. So I watched the election. It was a fair election. It was a secret ballot. We wrote down our choice. They collected them. Everything went well. So I did not speak up. 2 days later, I put out my statement that I'm not happy with the election and that I'm calling for a revote. And if a revote is not done, then I'm going to withhold my vote. Guys, think about it. Why did I do that? Because I needed those 16 people up here with me. I really need all 46 Republicans up here with me right now.
Yes.
So understand. Okay, so they're upset with me because I put that statement, now not all of them again, but I put that statement out that, basically we've got a problem here. But you see, at that meeting, not a single person wanted to talk about election integrity. Of course, I wanted to talk about it, but it's not on the agenda. So in between the votes, as we were networking, it doesn't matter who said it, but someone said, when it comes to elections, if I hear the word fraud, I'm gonna strangle someone. So I went up to this person and I said, fraud, strangle me now. And understand that most of the people I won with, they're good people. It's not that they're bad people, it's just that when they win their office, I don't know, what's going through their brains. We don't want to stand out with Liz because we'll never get funding for our campaign again, because the lobbyist will spend $250,000 to $500,000 to make sure in 2 years that we don't win. This is what politics is about, and this is not what it should be about. And this is why good people who are not doing it to go become a millionaire, don't run for office. This is the problem we have. Okay, so I need 46 Republicans, and you know what? This is a nonpartisan issue. I need Democrats up here with me as well.
I really do. This is so every time you read an article, you hear unfounded claims, unbiased claims. Well, I'm telling you, when we did the canvass, we never asked people who they voted for. We asked what methodology did they use to vote. And then when you look at the official record and you look at what they say, it's two very different things. So if a person tells you, I voted in person on election day, and the official record says that they voted by mail, don't you think there's a problem? Don't you think that that vote could have been registered by a mule who dropped off a ballot? And guess which ballot counts? It's the first ballot that counts. They don't call you up and say, oh gee, we have 2 ballots for you. Which one is really yours? That's not part of the process. So as long as we have voting the way we have it, with all these mail-in ballots, with machines where the elections department can't see inside the machine. The only people that can see inside the machine and see the code is basically the software providers. There are passwords that only the software providers have. This entire thing, unfortunately, has been happening long before 2020, and the people are just waking up to it now. And on Friday, October 30th, 2020, when I went to the poll early and did an in-person vote, I made a Facebook video. Oh, because I was naive. Arizona has, we've had the mail-in ballot for decades. There's no shenanigans here with the mail-in ballot. And I went ahead and I proceeded to vote, and I genuinely believe that. But when I saw, it just takes one YouTube video, and I saw that YouTube video of someone who said, this was Michigan, he pulled up 2 names, he showed their ages of the people, and then he showed that they were deceased, and then he went to an equivalent of Be Ballot Ready, and they had voted in the November 2020 election. So I had a national database checker that I pay a lot of money for, and so I checked those 2 people out, and lo and behold, they were deceased. So at that point, I asked the Arizona GOP, can I have voters over the age of 90? And that basically started the entire pursuit. And what I found is I found all of the people on the voter rolls, not just dead, yeah, but I also found all these people that don't even live here, or people that I couldn't find in the national database checker. And that is how I knew the voter rolls in Arizona at that time, November 2020, about 20% of the people that I was questioning whether or not they should be on the voter roll. Like, where do these people live? This one woman's name, she was over the age of 90, and I found it was a very weird name, distinct name. And then when I found her, she was in Tennessee. So at like the age of 90, did the data not just update, and did she all of a sudden come to Arizona because she wanted to vote? No. This is so that I think many of you are well researched in it, but there's an ERIC system, which basically helps with the deceased and the people that move back and forth. This ERIC system, I'm sure you've heard, George Soros has a financial interest in it, surprise, surprise. And our voter rolls, there's all types of tricks. And many of you who have been watching the videos and doing the research on this, you understand this, you see this. This is not about, and all of you know this is not about just one person in 2020. This is about a lot of people in 2020 that did not assume office and rightfully won. This is about 2022. People who rightfully won their office, and they're not going to be sworn in come this January. That is what this is about. So going back to what the situation is in Arizona right now, we have Rusty Bowers, Rusty Bowers 2.0, sorry. We have Ben Toma as our Speaker of the House, and we have a 1-person majority in the House, Arizona House, a 1-person majority in the Arizona Senate, and we have Katie Hobbs as governor and Adrian Fontes as Secretary of State. Do you think that as a legislator, with all of these wonderful election integrity bills, I'm gonna be able to do anything for the next 2 years? What am I going, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. My hands are tied walking in. And that is why I made the statement. Now, a lot of rhino Republicans, rhinos, yeah, but we're flooded with them in this state. A couple things. Number one, what they're saying is, well, Liz, that's a vote for the Democrats. No, what that is, it's a very nice request, and I'm doing it publicly, for those 46 other Republicans to come up here. They've already been quoted in Arizona Central that a revote is not going to happen. These are the Republicans, so they think we had a free and fair election in 2022. Now, the thing about, so we got the governor. That was a pretty close race. We've got Attorney General Abe Hamadeh. That was a pretty close race. But what happens, and I think you guys know this, they make these close races. You understand, they make the close races for like a few of them. Mine happens to be one of them. So there's going to be 3 recounts. So the people that they don't want you to, like Mark Fincham and Blake Masters, let me just tell you what the rhinos say is, well, you put bad candidates up. So we just didn't vote for them. Okay, now listen. So they're mad at me because I'm not going to vote when I get sworn in, right? That's what my statement was. Unless we have a revote, I'm not going to vote. Yet all of these people claim, well, we didn't vote for the 4 Republicans because they're such bad candidates. So isn't that a vote for the Democrat too? Aren't they hypocrites? All right, so what I was trying to say is that they make these like really narrow margins. So if Carrie Lake lost by 174,000 votes or whatever, we'd be up in arms. But instead, they have her lose, a little under 20,000. So it looks kind of good. Now, they're not going to recount Carrie Lake's votes, but they're going to recount Abe Hamadeh. They're going to recount Superintendent of Schools, Tom Horn. Last time I checked, I think it was 8,000 difference. And they're going to recheck my votes. And I won by 270 votes. So there is a good chance that my race will flip. And whatever happens, I believe it's part of God's plan. I'm okay with. It's going to be okay. But if they suddenly say, oh, gee, we found, hundreds and hundreds of votes for the other candidate, it's just going to prove our point even more. So they probably should have me, have the numbers match. Because, again, everything that we've done on this, for those of you who have researched it, everything's getting old. People are asking, are you going to do another canvas? Are you going to do this? We've proven it out. And it's like, right now, I feel like we are in 2020, and it's like a replay. We're going to have all the lawsuits. Hopefully one of them works, but a lot of them fail. And then the mainstream media is always asking, well, why has a judge not ruled that, yes, there were issues? And I think most of us here know that, unfortunately, our judicial system is broken. And I'm saying all this, and I realize I'm just painting a larger and larger target on my back, but I don't care, because we're losing this country right now. Now is the time to speak up. Now is the time to have a revote in Arizona. All right, someone just sent me this, and this is really good. This comes from the coffee shop in Tucson. Now, I'm gonna be really honest. I did not follow him much, but apparently this gentleman opened a coffee shop in Tucson, and then he got shut down during COVID, and I think they put him in jail. Does anybody know who this is? Kelly Walk. Oh, okay, well, yeah, okay. They put him in jail for another reason, but anyway, because he took zip ties to a school board meeting. All right. Okay. So this is really good, and this is basically it's It's okay. This is worth reading to you, as long as I can get shade. All right, I'm gonna come over here into the shade. Hopefully I don't get, all right. And what it says, and this is from him. It says, so many have asked me what can be done about this obvious hijack of our Arizona election. We can't get a fair election to vote our way out. And since we want to avoid a civil war, what can we do? And this is from the founders of our republic. They gave us this answer. First, they told us we have a duty to stop, quote, abuse and usurpation, unquote, of this kind. When a long train of abuses and usurpations events is designed to reduce them under absolute deposition. These are not words I use, I apologize. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to prove new guards for their future security. We cannot shrug and say, oh well, they stole another one. That would be to shirk our duty. Notice that we don't throw off government entirely, anarchy. We throw off such government that may routinely usurps our basic rights. We establish new secure governance to safeguard our security. This election tampering must stop now, and those involved in fraud have broken the law and the social contract. We are not obliged to continue supporting lawlessness. In my latest podcast, this is the coffee guy, I discussed the nonviolent ways the founders opposed the kind of outrage we are facing in Arizona today. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So what am I calling for? I am calling for a new vote on December 6th. There's some email circulating about December 5th. I don't know what that's about, except December 5th is when, my understanding, it's when the Secretary of State is going to certify the election. But anyway, calling for, which we hope is not going to happen. And I'm going to add Cochise County. It's a board of supervisors of 3. We have 2 board of supervisors that are on our team. They want to not certify. We need to email them and support them. Because right now, it's my understanding that Mark Elias and all the Hillary Clinton lawyers are coming in and putting tremendous pressure on them. And their county attorney is saying, hey, we're waving our hands of this. This is a problem. And let me just add, that's another problem. The attorneys for our legislators, I'm sorry, they're not people I necessarily want to work with. So you know what, on this recount, if they want to steal this seat from me, go for it. Because we need a total rebuild of everything that goes on here in our state capitol. Total rebuild. Okay, so December 6th election. Is it going to be an election? So here in Arizona, in Maricopa County, we use Dominion software. 13 counties use ES&S, and then there's Yavapai County, which uses the Unisum company. But anyway, we need to not use Dominion software here in Maricopa County. We need to have, this is what the law reads. So are you ready? So we brought this up on our morning Zoom call. The law reads that we're supposed to have paper ballots pre-printed with an overage. I think it's a 1% overage. And we need to be voting at the precinct level. What is the precinct? It's our neighborhood. Why do we want to vote at the precinct? Because when we go in there, we know just about you know your neighbors. You know who should be there, who shouldn't. Why else do you want to vote at the precinct level? It's going to be less ballots. It's going to be shorter lines, less wait time. And then also when it comes time to an eyeball, a hand count with the eyeball, it's going to be manageable. Because if you have, most of our precincts in Arizona are about 2,000, 3,000 people, but there are some that are smaller, there are some that are larger. But if you have 50 to 60% turnout, it's a manageable number. What they've done to us to make it unmanageable is they throw all those judges on it. And that's what makes voting in Arizona very difficult, and why Senator J.D. Mesnard keeps saying we have to keep the machines because it's 4.8 million ovals. Not when you take it down to the local precinct. That's my point. So you do it at the local precinct, you have strong voter ID, you have your voter registration list printed out, just like in the old days. I'm sorry for those of you who are technologically oriented, and you're saying, Liz, this is Amish style. Yeah, it might be Amish style, but we want to get the rightful people in their seats. That's the purpose of this. So when we redo this election, obviously the military, the disabled, they would have an absentee ballot, not a mail-in ballot, an absentee ballot. Like if Ducey could have a special session and grant all this, I would say he's Santa Claus. But there's no way in the world Ducey is going to do this. Why? Because all of these guys, you got to follow the money.
All right, guys, there's about 15 of you guys left.
I tried one of these, opened it up, and rather it tastes like it had the taste of Robitussin in it. Makes you drowsy.
True fruit.
Yeah. It's weird, finding Robitussin in these babies,
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, be careful with that.
I will.
No problem. All right, guys, there's about 15 of you guys left in here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this? We got the group of Boys and Girl Scouts out here.
They were the best communicators in the world when it came to prison. They said that the person who drew the largest crowds was basically, whichever candidate was basically a presidential winner. So they know that in 2012, Obama may not have won, but that's a separate thing. But what is proven here is that when people get energized and passionate and motivated about a candidate, it's very obvious. I did not think that they were going to be bold enough to take this from Carrie Lake. I really did not think they'd do that. I thought they'd make her life miserable, put her in, and then Democrats.
There's our Boys and Girl Scouts.
When I look at the Democrat platform, it's very much
For children, scouts are not allowed to be filmed because they have to sign a privacy agreement. Sir?
Anyway, coming back to Carrie Lake, I'm 100%.
That's this lady right here in front of me. Just heard it. It's not very bright. They're not allowed to get filmed, right?
How many mail-in ballots are received by day? Okay, there's one called the uplift. So going into my election, I had a very small percentage in my district. Going into this election, we had 4 Republican ballots received and Democrat, which is not very common.
Go and make her dance. We're gonna make her dance, guys.
More Democrats vote by mail, and more Republicans typically vote in person, especially on election day, especially this year. So when, the night of the election, the Democrat was up 5,000. Julie was ahead of me by a little over 300. And then the next morning, it switched. And I was ahead of Julie by approximately 300. And I think they made a mistake in the algorithm. But anyway, let me explain why. And then they kept me and Julie like this really narrow margin. Like it was really, really narrow. And so eventually, it came to calling the election, and I was getting all these congratulations. And I thought the threshold was 250 votes, like a leader by 270. But it was actually 0.5%.
And there's a whole bunch of things that will go around. You'll see all different religions represented here in some form of the number.
Can we observe for Liz Harris when it comes to the recount of this vote? So here's they were literally admitted to us that they were unsure of how this was going to go down. Why? Because the other two races they need to count are statewide. My race is in legislative district. In the legislative district race, you have, remember, we don't have races.
Got Karen right here, the blue backpack.
Anyway, so all the ballots are mixed They said we're going to contact the candidate Friday. I haven't gotten a call yet. They're supposed to be contacting me on exactly how this recount is going. Of course, we're going to have really tough, bright people in there watching this recount. But what I truly believe in my heart of hearts, truly will be an honor for the high vote getters and the Democrats, the Democratic reformers for the future, and now she's I personally cannot trust our voting system, and I know I'm not wrong. So can I hear like a yes? Like, does anyone trust our voting system right now? Does everyone want a revote? Everyone want a revote on December 6th? Do we need changes to our election methodology? Do we need legislators who are going to support one day, one vote? So I don't know what's going to change the tide. I really don't know what's going to change the tide. This is going to be a tough road. So there's a legislative thing that I'm supposed to be at in DC next week. There's a scholarship there. It's called ALEC. It's for conservatives. And I can't get information. I'm trying to ask, you know, can I get the scholarship? I guess we don't know for sure that I've won yet. And I'll tell you, there's on this letterhead, there's a Major Doug Ducey guy right up there. I think his name's Kurt Adams, right? And when I called the person, because I'm trying to follow up, I'm supposed to leave on a Monday night for this. And I'm like, do I get a ticket? Do I pay for the hotel? Do I go? Does Julie go? Do we both go? What's up? And when I called one of the
You have the Ten Commandments tablet right here, which he's instructing all these kids with.
I didn't know it was you. I didn't mean to answer.
And he did some chanting in Hebrew.
Did he really just say that? He said, I'll call you back, and he never did. So I am going to be an outcast going in there, but I don't care. Because if they were all truly working for the people, and not for the lobbyists, and not for the special interest group, and not what was going to get them elected the next time, they would be what that's the type of legislator we're looking for. People who aren't controlled by the people who are going to help them. If you guys are going to help them
Got Miss Karen over here.
that's the way this should be
Right
working.
behind here, right there. Guess here with the blue backpack.
Now, there are a lot of Republican groups that said, do not come today. Once again, you have to follow the money. You have to look at their boards of directors. There are Republican groups with boards of directors who they were pro-Rosen, anti-Carrie Lake. And yet we're all running around doing work for them. There are other Republican groups that told us not to do it today. I wonder why.
That area, by the way, was prone to earthquakes and
okay, they're telling us not. All right, then you have to look at their expense accounts. You have to look at what billionaire is funding these different groups. You have to look at the groups, and you have to, again, I'm asking you to do this. Look at their boards of directors, and right in there, it says where, you know, who they've been involved with in their bios, who they've been involved with, and like the writings on the wall. And then they have us all running out and working for them. And these were groups that when they first started, or some of them have been around for decades, I had great respect for them. Now I know, to 2020, I got money from one of the groups. They endorsed me. 2022, I didn't get any money. They might have done independent expenditures where they might have put out an ad for me. I got their endorsement. They didn't give any money directly to me. I got their endorsement. The only reason I really feel that I got their endorsement was because people started questioning it. This group got very involved in elections. But right over there on the Capitol, first quarter of 2021, this group had a table. And it was, I didn't know who it was at the time. Their name wasn't on it, but it was a Republican group. And this Republican group basically stated protect the mail-in ballot. And after all the canvassing we had been doing, and realizing all the problems, that this is long before...
So rally's still going on over here. That's what you guys can hear in the background. And then you have a group of Boys and Girl Scouts who are doing some sort of... They're looking at the Ten Commandments.
The answer to why they were protecting the mail-in ballot, because you have to follow the money.
This is the rally still going on. Same speaker.
It's bigger than John McCain's wife. It's a combination of my research. There's probably more money. Combination of Koch brothers, one Koch brother's dead, one's alive. Koch brothers, Soros, and others. This is the global elitists. This is the, if you want to call it cabal, whatever you want to call it. This is, and I know a lot of you are now following World Economic Forum. You know, 10 years ago, all this New World Order stuff to many of us was like conspiracy theory. You know what the difference between conspiracy theory and reality now? Well, it used to be like a long period of time. Now to me it's like a week. It's like you hear something and then before you know it, in a week, it's actually proving out to be true. They literally want to take away our freedom. They want to take away our currency. They want to indoctrinate our children, as they have been for almost 50 years now. They want to, I can go on and on. There is, I heard that the second in charge of World Economic Forum, whatever his name is, what is it?
Looks like the lesson's over here.
Harari. He made a statement, I'm not sure how many of you heard it, that after 2024, we're not going to have elections. This is the point that they're taking the world to.
It's a pretty large group of Boys and Girl Scouts. Somebody, I think AZ Unfiltered earlier, said that they now accept girls in the Boy Scouts, so it's no longer separated. So you see boys and girls here in this meeting. Any of you guys out there, boy or Girl Scout? Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity. I would have loved it though, but I didn't have the opportunity to become a Boy Scout. Some of the things they teach you, some of the things that, I mean, it's pretty fun. You teach you how survive out in the woods and how to start a fire and stuff like that. It's real cool and neat and very important to know these kind of things.
I had campaign funds.
I mean, not sorry I missed not selling cookies outside the store. But I do like buying those cookies. But like you said, this is a pretty large group of Boys and Girl Scouts.
Can I just ask why you're filming our group?
Oh, you can ask, yeah.
Yeah, so what's your answer?
Oh, I don't answer those questions.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are out in public though. There's no expectation of privacy out in public.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a nice day.
You guys too. God bless you guys.
All right, so I know we have other speakers here. I know I took
They're super anti-recording. That's the third or fourth person that tells me or asked me not to record. Well, they already asked me not to record, but I had other people ask me not to record these guys. Somebody even told me that they signed a paper which gives them privacy. So, not sure if you guys are aware of that document.
But have a great day.
It's just cool stuff, guys. It's cool stuff. There goes the Karen right there. Look at her. She's a Karen. She's the one that was trying to tell me they had those documents signed right there. That lady.
Hello, everybody. I'm Luis Pozzolo. I wasn't even born in this country. I'm a congressional candidate for District 7. 82% of the border, all the ports of entry are in City 7. I run against Raul Grijalva. If you want to get by 64%, you have one.
You're right. That's AZ Unicorn. You're right. That would have been a much better answer. I'm just so used to dealing with police, and when they ask me those questions, that's literally what came out, bro. Honestly, but it is that's absolutely a better answer. And might go ahead and steal that from you. No, AZ Unicorn. Absolutely, bro. I'm absolutely just invoking my First Amendment right. And yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate that.
And the tyranny, I want to be free. And this country gave me that opportunity. I came with my wife here 20 years ago, and I started politicians. When you hear people in Washington tell you the American dream is not alive, you have one American dream standing in front of you because I was able
Got Tapatillos over here.
big corporations, became an executive. I'm my own business now.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, Freemasons. That's exactly right. Okay. Arizona.
Oh shit, cam back. This thing's pretty much dead, bro.
It is, huh?
These guys didn't like getting recorded. Like 3 times I asked them.
They told you not to record it?
Yeah, they don't like to be recorded. So a lady even told me they signed a paper stating that they have the privacy, like they couldn't record them. I was like,
serious?
I try not to laugh. But.
Es que porque son niños a la
Yeah, that doesn't matter, bro. You should be teaching them since they're little kids that there's, you know.
5 years old. My father was a senator at that time. So they attacked my father. He came back in 83.
We got still a couple of people camping out. I think actually, yeah, they would may say, hey, that's right, because you teach them from the little kids. You know, what business do they have without recording? Nothing, right? Just leave them alone. They're doing their thing. You do yours. You know. But my kids would dance in front of the camera. So we still got a few groups. There's another truck out there with all the signs. I honestly do think some people will probably try to spend the night. I don't know how many people. It's probably going to be just a handful of people that are willing to spend the night here, but you know, that's what they're advocating for, is that the need to kind of sit and camp and grow this.
The only difference between you and me, I have a place to go. You don't. This needs to be your last stand. Like you need to fight with everything you have for election integrity.
Let me say, yeah, I think this is just the start of this one, actually. I think based on some of the speeches, I think what they're gonna try to do is advocate for more people to come out here, spend the night.
¿Ya vamos para Phoenix?
You wanna go cop watch or?
Let's go. A ver si agarramos algo o qué.
What do you guys think, guys?
Huh?
What do you guys think? I think we're gonna cut this. It's pretty dead. As you can see, there's not a ton of people, but I'm gonna go cop watching. Stay tuned. I might be back live, guys. I thank you guys for joining the stream. All 17 of you guys that stayed. Yeah, once I'm gonna be listening to the scanner, go look around. Once I find something, just so I don't have you guys just watching more boring stuff. I tell everybody when I go live, guys, there's no expectation. I hope that you guys don't have an expectation of, man, it's gonna be the grandiest video ever. Nah, I have had some crazy videos. So if you haven't watched like the live accident video right in front of us, if you guys haven't watched some of the ones on Mill where people are getting slammed and getting thrown on the floor and beat up by cops, I mean, those are all live videos. Some of those I don't remake a video, it's just live. So if you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, you didn't. But it is what it is, guys. This is really going on right now. This is live. It's raw. It's going on in our community. Whether you agree with this, whether you don't agree with this, it's really going on. So it's important to bring it to you guys, whether it's boring or it's the most exciting thing. But I'm gonna go cop watch. We're gonna go look for some police stops and bring you live a little bit more action. So once I'm at the next stop, I will bring you guys back to live. Thank you so much, Emily. I appreciate your comments. Thank you for being in my stream. I very much appreciate you guys. So I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys. Checking out.